It's in a resort.
There you go.
Those are kind of hard to sell because you can't go knocking on the door.
Did they have a rule against it or
Those
something?
are kind of hard. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it a Robson community?
Huh?
I said, is it a Robson community?
Uh, no, it's like a resort. It's homes, the site built homes, like townhouses.
Oh, that
They
they're
have a
renting.
We'll talk about
yeah.
that in a little bit, but I think a good opportunity for a place like that is there's usually a community center or a community board or something like that you can get involved with. So, other wins from the weekend.
I got a lead waiting for my egg McMuffin.
There you go.
Yeah, someone moving in from Washington, so they're looking to buy a house.
Ain't nothing better than a little McMuffin lead gen.
I bought a treadmill this weekend and made a good connection with the ladies that were selling it.
Yeah.
Their house is already for sale. And I said, "Oh, that's why you're selling your treadmill." And I said, "How's it going?" And we had a whole conversation about it, and they're super not happy with their agent. And they were like, "Well, what if we want to cancel and just have you do it? Because you sound like you know what you're talking about." And I said, "Well, I don't advocate for that. I tried communicating with your agent first and maybe share a couple of these things I just mentioned. But there's like a list of a couple things from there, the way it's entered in the MLS and that are just incorrect and like eliminating options for people to get eyes on it." So anyway, I gave him some cards and I said, even though you're with somebody, if any of your neighbors or anyone you know wants a hardworking agent that knows their shit, she was like, "Oh, absolutely."
Yeah. Call me and I'll give you Big Dan's number.
Yeah, exactly what I said.
It's all good. That's awesome. I love it. Well, what else you guys want to share? Jim, how you feeling? You back to the living?
Yeah, but definitely probably 80-90%. So I've got my Eisenhower model here of everything I didn't do last week. So
Guys, if I can tell you something, and it's got to stay here between us and everyone on the internet, I don't like being sick. I fucking hate it.
amen.
I hate it because there's nothing worse than not sleeping. And last night was the first night I slept in the last 3 days. So it's fantastic. So today I donned my pink pants. I got to work because we're going to make some shit happen today. So Christina's
No
like,
connection between making shit happen and the pink pants are not connected.
have you ever seen someone wearing pink pants that wasn't on a mission?
I'm just hoping you don't shit your pants.
No,
I
I'm not
wasn't
wearing
that
my
kind of
brown
sick.
pants. I'm not wearing my brown pants today. I'm wearing my pink pants.
That's fair.
On
So,
my
all
on my
right.
Eisenhower model, I've got 50 contacts, all my fitness goals, all that stuff, and then delay everything else.
Well, now I want to know what the Eisenhower model is. Now I'm gonna have to Google that.
No, we've talked about it before. It's a decision matrix. Here, I'll pull it up on the computer so you guys can see it. The Eisenhower matrix is a decision quadrant that allows you to quickly identify what you need to do, what you don't need to do. So it's do
Oh,
it, delegate it,
quadrant's gonna be massive.
schedule it, delete it. What's that?
Oh, I said one of my quadrants gonna be massive.
Yeah. So I
And
think I
if
have.
one of your quadrants is massive, there's something wrong.
Yeah, I'm aware, Jim.
One
So here's the model.
of my quadrants is massive today because I didn't do crap last week.
So here's the model, right? Sorry for the black background. This was designed for a website. If it's important and urgent, you do it now. If it's important but not urgent, you decide a time to do it. Schedule it, put it on the calendar. If it's not important but it needs to be done urgently, you delegate it. Who can I give it to? Who can I leverage this to? But if it's not important and not urgent, don't do it. Ignore it. It is a very quick decision matrix. But if you've got a bunch of stuff that's urgent and important, figure it out. You're almost always going to start with, oh my God, it's urgent and important. I got to get it done. But in reality, is it urgent? Is it important? We all tend to overemphasize the importance of menial tasks. So I will pop this in the chat for you guys if you want to have it in your worlds. So you could save it, share it, use it again. Now in the chat for you. So I like that, Jim. It's a great conversation starter today is what's left undone. Even though we're sick, we're down, we're not feeling well, I'm still doing shit. I took 2 listings while being sick. And both times the seller was all, dude, go home. Take a rest. I'm like, you guys need me. You're in Texas. You need to sell these houses. I'm here. They're like, Dan, it sounds like you're trying to talk through a bullfrog. And I'm like, you know what? I like it. My wife likes my deep voice. They laugh, I cough, we continue on. But what it was is, you know what? I'm just not going to let days go by being zeros, right? I'm not going to have a 0 day. What do I mean by a 0 day, right? No 0 days. I'm going to make sure something about today is a win. Something. There's a great book out there. It's called Make Your Bed. It talks about the discipline. So it's, what is it? The Millionaire Morning? No. I'll find it. Make Your Bed. Little Things Can Change Your Life by
Admiral something or other, right?
Yeah, Mick Raven. I can never remember his name. I knew it's a bird. Mick Raven. William McRaven. It's a great little read. Make Your Bed. He talks about make your bed first thing in the morning. It's that way. If the rest of the day goes to absolute shit, you've got one thing accomplished. Make your bed. Do the one thing. Progress isn't about making massive leaps. It's about refusing to let single days pass with 0 momentum towards your goals. It's important there. And I say, don't make it a 0-sum day, but you want to have something that's going to help you in reality to your goal, right? You don't have to win the whole day. Just win one round, one play, one opportunity, one conversation. Hey, I bought a treadmill and I won the opportunity to potentially have a listing when this one cancels or expires. That's a win. It's a simple win. It goes back to the methodology of what we do every single morning. I'm a big believer in the way we think is the way we live. Always have been, always will be. When I find myself in a dark place in life, I go directly into the thinking. The US government and food services and the FDA and all kinds of these places are super worried about what you ingest because it could be a caloric disaster for you. It could cause cancer. It could be toxic. The food, drinks, drugs, all of that stuff, right? There's warnings on everything. On the pack of cigarettes, do not, like giant letters, don't do this while you're pregnant, could kill your baby or whatever it says. Clearly that's a warning. Why don't people come with warnings? Be careful, this individual may be toxic to your soul.
They do. We just ignore them.
Be careful
Right.
about this group of people because they're going to slow you down, right? We all focus so much on what we eat, what we drink, right? We're trying to get healthy. We're trying to get healthy. So watch your calories, watch your calories, watch your calories. When you measure what goes in, we can identify the outcome. Well, what if we turn that into the mental state? If we're careful of what we ingest, can we not help guarantee a better outcome? If you're always focused on what's going wrong, what went bad, what do you think's going to happen? Are we going to get less bad or are we going to get more of it?
What you focus on expands.
And I was getting to that. It's like, if you look at the bold law, what you focus on expands is an absolute truth to life. If you are constantly in a fight with someone, this is maybe a loved one or someone in your life that you consistently squabble with, you'll get to the point, like every time you have a conversation, you're looking out for a fight. You're looking out for an altercation. You will take something that's peaceful and create problems with it because that's what you're so focused on. That in that environment, there no longer exists hostility. You will create hostility so that you are playing in the world that your mind's like, oh, I understand this. I know this. This is comfortable for me. Don't live like that, right? Go back to a day in the last month. I want you guys to think about it. Is there a day out there that just stands out as a losing day for you? An absolute dumpster fire of a day.
Like every year,
Like every year is the same day. April.
like Groundhog Day.
No, but just think about it. Like in the last month, maybe 2 weeks, whatever it is, maybe it was yesterday, that a day stands out to you to be an absolute dumpster fire of a day. You would put that up on your calendar as a loss. Like today was a loss. Today was a red letter day. They call it red letters because usually you indicate losses in red. A red letter day. If you could go back and fix one thing, one decision in that day that would have made something a win, what would that decision be? If you care to share, fantastic. If you want to make this an internal thing, I'm okay with it. A little introspection this morning is not a bad thing.
I would say keep going on, because sometimes you feel like you're in a rut, and I have certain things I have to deal with in the home that slows me down. And sometimes that would put a damper on my day because I feel like I didn't do enough to make
Okay.
my
So,
business.
not a generalized thing, Audrey. I want you to think about a single day, an actual day. Tuesday the 1st, I don't know. Think about a day that you can look back and be like, today was a dumpster fire. Go back and revisit that day in your mind and think about what's one thing I could have done? What's one action I could have taken that would have moved me closer to my goal instead of pushing me further away? This is one of the hardest exercises because now I'm forcing you to go back and look at negativity. Who found an action that they did wrong and just now it's sitting in their head? Who found an opportunity? They're like, man, that sucked.
When I could have did my calling, I kind of got sidetracked and did something different. And then I figured that I could have did what I needed to do when I didn't.
There's one. What else? Anyone else?
I'll piggyback on what Audrey said. When you first said that, I said, well, any day I decided to not do my lead gen and to do something else, and if that something else wasn't something to do with family or something, is a loss. And it's not even an actual like mental loss. It's a financial loss.
Yeah, it could be both. I mean, your income definitely will put strain on your emotional sanctity. So we focus on these negatives. We focus on these things that we can do better. I don't want you to focus on them and dwell like, oh, my life sucks. We have no Eeyores on this class. If anything, we're a class full of Tiggers, just bouncing around on our tails, being goofy. And I'm good with it. But sometimes Eeyore slips in, right? What's Eeyore known for? Is he known for the super amazing positivity and positive outlook on life?
Woe is me.
Exactly. It's everything's against me. The
Victim.
world's against me. It's I am the victim. Everybody hates me. Nobody likes me. They all forgot my birthday. No. Eeyore's life sucks. Why does Eeyore's life suck? Because he thinks everybody hates him. He thinks every day sucks. He thinks everybody's against him. I've watched a ton of those cartoons as a kid, and nobody openly said, you know what, that Eeyore, I'm gonna get that donkey today.
Or an ass.
Nobody. The only person on that entire cartoon that ever went out after Eeyore was Eeyore himself. Nobody told Eeyore, today sucks. Hell, even when Christopher Robin disappeared, they were like, oh my God, where is he? We can find him. Eeyore's like, I hate my life. But if Eeyore would change one thing, if Eeyore had a goal, And he set a goal and he set the intentions around it. And then he made sure that every single day he did one thing. He made sure one thing was done to move him towards that goal. At the end of a week, do you think Eeyore would have some better days? At the end of a month, do you think Eeyore would see some positivity in his life? At the end of a year, can Eeyore look back and say, wow, everything is completely different? Eeyore's problem is that's his identity. Yes, someone created the identity for him. But is somebody creating your identity or are you? Does somebody tell me that someone showed up with a briefcase and said, here you are, this is you, this is the new Jason Thompson. You must be this person. No, that'll never happen. But if you wake up and you're like, you know what, I'm just tired of feeling like I'm losing. Okay, then let's shift gear. Let's make today a win. What would make today a win? What's one action that moves you closer to a key goal? Well, the important part of that question is a goal, right? If you don't have a goal, do you know what actions to take to get you there? Right. With no destination, any path will get you there, right? If I've got nowhere planned to go and I'm just driving around aimlessly, what am I doing?
Wasting gas.
Wasting away. Wasting time, wasting gas, putting myself in unnecessary risk. But think about it. It could be a call, could be a workout, could be a follow-up, could be a mindset shift, could be a passage in the Bible you want to read every day. It could be something that moves you closer to a key goal. Hell, today might be the day you decide to set a key goal. It's your win is I'm going to set a key goal. That's my goal. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to do it. And then every day I'm going to do one thing that moves me forward. Because even days that you don't feel like it, man, I tell you, the last couple of days, I have not felt like doing much of anything. I don't know if you guys have had bronchial pneumonia, where every breath feels like pins and needles, where walking up the stairs makes you feel like you ran a marathon. You're just exhausted and winded. That's what happens every time I get a respiratory infection, is I fight like my life is at risk, because honestly, it could very quickly become bronchial pneumonia. And I get so exhausted, so drained, so defeated. Like, why does it have to be like this? And it pisses me off. So what I do is I push. I push myself to a breaking point. I get up early. I go take a walk. I get up early and I do breathing exercises outside because it usually causes a hell of a coughing fit. But what it's doing is it's pushing my lungs to be stronger, even though they've come down with the sickness. And sometimes I listen to Disturbed while I do it. Jim knew that was coming.
It was already in my head.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, there's a song called Down with the Sickness. But I did one thing that pushed me to become better. One thing that got me towards a key goal. Even 5 minutes counts. I can tell you Saturday was a rough day. 5 minutes was a lot to ask for in positivity. But I pushed for it. I'm glad I did. Because now I can look back and say, wow, when did I get sick? Wednesday? Thursday? I don't remember.
Yeah, we both felt like crap Wednesday.
Yeah. I took half the day off on Wednesday, half a day off on Thursday. I don't remember Friday. It's a blur. Saturday was a rough day. But I can't look back the last 5 days and say those days were just worthless. I just wasted those days. Because every one of those days had at least 5 minutes of success. They had a phone call, they had a text, they had an email, they had something that moved me closer to my goal. Because consistency builds confidence. I'm like, I know I don't feel good. And I know that when I've not felt good in the past, I've been able to do X, Y, and Z to help me get over it. So that's where I focus. Because I know that once I've built the confidence in knowing I can get out of a rough spot, Once I know I've gotten out of a bad headspace, I have evicted Eeyore. I have kicked his donkey butt to the curb. I know that the next day is going to be fantastic. Little wins. And for me, it's not making my bed. I'll be honest with you. I don't make my bed every morning because my wife is still in it. And you guys want to see me with some black eyes, I'll start making my bed in the morning.
Funny story with that. I had to delegate making my bed because I made my bed one morning, and then my wife goes upstairs and remakes the bed because she didn't like the way I did it. So I delegated that.
It's important, but not urgent. Wife can do it. What's the thing is this, but I do find something as a win every single day. Let's go back to it. Could be a call, could be a workout, could be a follow-up, could be a mindset. It could be just 5 minutes of you being like, you know what? My thinking is off track. Eeyore is slipping in. Everybody hates me. Nobody likes me. Everybody forgot my birthday. No, stop it. Get out of here with that. Take a second. Take a beat. Write it down. Right? Get the feelings out. Get the thoughts out. Right? We're so worried about what's ingested into our bodies. But did you know in a mental capacity, getting it out actually helps? The tough conversations, the tough thoughts, the tough beliefs, write them down. Journaling is one of the most cathartic exercises you are forgetting to do.
Yeah.
My people on here that journal consistently, let me see your hands. That's kind of what I thought.
I left off journaling, but I need to get back. I did grab my book last week.
Yeah.
I didn't touch it.
But one of the best things about journaling is it allows you to filter your thoughts. It allows you to filter your thoughts. And anyone ever heard the term, just got to get it off my chest? Right? It's a term of saying, you know what, I got some things to talk about. I got some things that are hurting me. I got to get it off my chest. And then do you feel better afterwards? Just like in sickness, I hope no one's eating. I'm going to talk about some gross stuff right now. If you're not feeling good and you ate some bad stuff, what does your body do? It gets rid of it, usually violently. If something is bad for you and you've ingested it, your body goes, let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's eject it, reverse the way it came in.
Is
Or
anyone seeing what Anthony's doing? Can we just point that out?
yeah, or if it's sat in your system too long, your body's all, we need to speed up the exit here. But just like your physical health and well-being, your body monitors that to a point. Like you eat the wrong stuff, it's going to push it out of you. But if you think the wrong stuff, you need to get it out. You got a bunch of just garbage up in your brain guts. Get them out. Do some word vomiting. That's why people go to counselors. That's why people go to therapists, because it's a safe space where they can word vomit. And most of the time, it's not even the result or the feedback that they get from that professional that does the heavy lifting. It's the physical expulsion of negative thoughts. All the word vomit. So the safest place you can word vomit is a piece of paper. Because after that, you can take that piece of paper with all those dark thoughts you had on it and light it on fire. In a safe place, don't burn your house down. But that's a way of getting the thoughts out, right? Write it down. Maybe do a weekly check-in. And if that's too much work, do a bi-weekly check-in. And you'll find out, you'll start doing daily check-ins, right? Where am I at? Where am I at? What am I doing? What are my thinkings? Why am I thinking like Eeyore, right? Let's get back to how do we make today a win? Write it down. Today was a win because blank. It's almost like I ask you guys every single morning, what are your wins? I am conditioning you to think differently. I'm conditioning you to speak and share positivity. When you turn on the news, do they talk about all the great things that are happening? No. What are they talking about?
Doom and gloom.
Doom, gloom, and misery. If anything likes company, misery loves company. And you know how I know that's true? Because every time there's an accident, people are driving by to check it out. And very, very few of them are worried about the safety of the other person.
Every once in a while, they'll sprinkle in a cupcake expo or something.
Yeah. Every 100th story, it's doom and gloom and one little puppy snippet.
Right.
Puppies and cupcakes, back to doom and gloom. All right, we'll schedule our doom and gloom programming will resume right after these cupcakes.
That's Christina's next event, by the way. Puppies and cupcakes.
That's why she got off camera. She went to go write that down. We're gonna call it pupcakes.
Pupcakes.
It's
Cups and pups.
Cups and puffs. I love it, Jim. coffee and puppies, right? Cups and puffs. So
You guys have obviously never been to Starbucks with a dog.
Yes,
Or
I
gotten a
have.
pup cup.
Yep.
yeah. So let's get back on this one thought: is how do we make every day a win? Because as we win, it compounds. It may seem like a Herculean effort, but if you just focus on one thing, one snippet, one 5-minute task, one thing that moves you forward in your key goals, that's a big part in your key goals, then time doesn't feel big until you look back and go, holy crap, a whole world's different. Your life will change so gradually, so insignificantly that over time it's going to feel like nothing's changed until you look back and realize everything has changed. The people you talk to, the conversations you have, and the things that you tolerate tend to evolve themselves around the thinking that you adopt. And if you find yourself around a herd of Eeyores, you might get out of it. So turn no 0 days into goal setters and goal getters. There's something I want to accomplish in life. I need to really focus in on that. And I'm going to make every day a win to get me towards that goal, whatever it is. My wife told me yesterday she was doing a bunch of tile repair in the house, and I was being her gopher. Go get me a bucket, go get me a spoon, go get me this, go get me that. I'm being a gopher. I'm being a good gopher. And she says, in 5 years, I want to replace all the tile down here. I want to do something completely different. Now, if you've ever done a ton of tile work, it's not cheap. So my brain instantly goes, 5 years, it's going to cost us probably $30,000 in tile. So I need to start putting around X dollars amount per month away for 5 years. So instead of thinking I can't do this, you start thinking in the lines of how can I do this? And it becomes smaller chunks, small wins. $500 a month, put in a bank account. Never look at it. Don't touch it. Put in an investment account so it grows. Maybe I can get that money faster. But when the time comes, I don't have to do the work. I can hire it done because I took a small victory. I took a small win and said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to make today a win. So the only way to fail in life is to quit, my friends. The only way to fail in real estate is to quit. So do something, do anything that moves you forward, and then do it again tomorrow. No 0 days. Sound good?
Yeah.
Was today worth your time? All right.
Yami say yes.
All right. Maybe sign off. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of my crowd. If you want the Eisenhower Matrix, it's in the chat. Download it. If you don't want it, you're going to forget about it. Text me later when you're like, oh, what's that Eisenhower thing we were talking about? Not the president. It's the decision matrix. So any other thoughts, comments, concerns before we go? Or who wants to share what stood out to you most today?
No 0 days. That's getting written and put right in front of my desk.
No 0 days.
No 0 days.
I love it.